The day my past came calling, adventures in unexpected multi-ethnicity. For as long as I remember, I wanted to be white. I mean, I was born Caucasian, but that was not enough. I wanted to be tall and slim, with elegant wrists that suggested a blue blood lineage rather than outright fairness. I wanted the type of body that looks perfect in a varsity jacket. I wanted piercing blue eyes and a shock of blonde hair that would constantly fall over my high forehead into my eyes, requiring me to shake it back with a practiced insouciance. From the start of first grade, I nursed an extreme case of wasp envy. Why not? Children have a simplistic notion of social justice. The good people are clearly the ones at the top. And from all I could divine from 1966 TV magazines in the classroom, wasps ran the world. People liked them, coddled them, gave them extra candy at birthday parties, so why not become one of them? But an unruly set of genes undermined my simple quest. I was short, chubby, and olive-skinned. And then there was the hair. Dark brown to the point of blackness and as soft as barbed wire. It grew up and out in a tangle. At first I felt I could retrain it. For months I went to bed wearing a ski cap, praying that the constant pressure would force the hair to fall across my brow. My ploy failed. When it came to ethnic identity, I simply knew who I wasn't. Who I actually was became the tougher question. There weren't many clues. In 1961, at the age of 1 year and 3 weeks, I was liberated from a Jewish adoption agency in Boston and brought home to suburbia. My new parents possessed one single fact about my heritage. I'd been born to a Jewish mother. Any other guesses relied on my physical appearance, the way one parses out the mixed breeding of a mongrel dog. Thanks to laws governing Bay State adoptions, my true racial background lay in a sealed file. But in our tribe, the Jewish classification suffices. Everything else can be grafted on. My new parents, Lolly and Sonny Blotcher, were both first-generation Americans born to Jewish immigrants from Eastern Europe. The Goyim may be nice to us, my mom would caution me, but they are not our friends. She was fully justified to say so. The Holocaust had been only 16 years earlier. So I was trained well as a suburban Jew. From kindergarten on, my culture and religion were indivisible. I knew the score of Fiddler on the Roof better than any Beatles songs. And I began regularly attending Saturday morning services, more out of loneliness than piety, because after all, this chubby dweeb had no friends. Around this time, my wasp envy had been tabled out of sheer genetic impracticality. For now, I was coping with grade school socialization and navigating battery thanks to my appearance, because in our simple town, Irish Catholics were the norm and dark-skinned boys like me the exception. Count on the cruelty of children, always. By first grade, I was being teased on the playground, in the cafeteria, after school. Kids are cruel but hardly inventive. The easy targets were my glasses, 4 eyes, my whiffle haircut, baldy, and my weight, fatso. But when the bullies gave me grief about my skin color, I had no killer comebacks. I was 8 years old at summer camp, Camp Peter Pan in Foxborough, Massachusetts, when I first heard the word nigger. I didn't understand what it meant, but I knew that it was calculated to hurt. That was enough to bring me to tears and run to the office. However, the camp director, a brusque woman named Eve, dismissed my foolishness. Those other kids are jealous because you have such a gorgeous tan, she explained. that tan would get me into numerous scrapes over the years. Occasionally I think about my real mother and father. This usually happened after my mom had given me a good swat with a strap, a belt with its buckle removed, which hung in the broom closet, for the frequent times I misbehaved. Left to sniffle in my bedroom, I would wonder who had given me up, and especially what they looked like. It would take several years before that curiosity receded, and only then, with ironic timing, did my past come calling. It was 1988, and I was living in Long Island City, a freelance writer collecting puny sums, interviewing rock musicians for one magazine and optometrists for another. It was mid-March. There was a registered letter for me at the post office. When I walked over, the clerk handed me an envelope decorated with lattice work and addressed in calligraphy a shade of brown that had dried to resemble dried blood. On the front, somebody had written, "Personal and confidential." I casually pulled out the letter right there in the post office. Looking at it, it had been written in the same corny penmanship, and I began skimming when a line in the second paragraph stopped me. "I have held you in my heart since I gave birth to you on June 9th, 1960. A few months short of my 28th birthday, I was holding a 4-page letter from my birth mother. Valerie Bishop was a legal secretary living in Santa Monica. She had had me at age 20 and was forced to give me up. She vowed she would try to find me, and therefore, the days before routine internet searches, she spent 2 years searching Massachusetts public records. And now, a small uninvited bombshell is sitting in my lap.